Hello, hello, hello. Good freaking morning. Amazing. Hello, my freaking badasses. Let's bring this into shot. Get amazing sound. Perfect. Hello and welcome to Tash Talks, the live show. Oh my goodness. I love this. I absolutely love this. I love your questions. I love the energy. I love the liveness. I love it. I think you can tell I absolutely love it. Good morning. Hey, everyone that's jumping on. Say hello in the chat box if you're watching this live. And of course, if you're watching this on replay, hashtag re-freaking play. So, what's been happening behind the scenes of NCC? Well, last week, as you're probably aware, if you follow me over on Instagram, we were away as a family. We went to Spain for a week, hired this beautiful villa, which was gorgeous. And it really up-leveled my energy, as in we were staying on, unbeknown to us until we got there, millionaires, kind of like, you can call it Millionaires Row, but it's a golf community. So we stayed on an actual golf course, and it's won the best golf awards the last 2 years. Like, it has Michelin star restaurants, like kind of like Michelin star, would you call it putting? Don't know, not a golfer. Well, my husband actually golfs a bit, but we didn't. And that's not why we picked the villa. We just loved the villa. So the energy there was very, very different. To be around this and make this your normality is really, really important. I remember putting myself in situations like, for example, before I made six figures, I was going to events where six-figure owners were. I was working with coaches that were making six figures in a way that I wanted to make it. I was surrounding myself with other people that was talking about money as in the energy of I want to speak about it. It's all in our conditioning. It's all in our conditioning. So we want to make sure that we surround ourselves with that energy of what we actually want to tap into. And that energy of normality, that energy of, well, of course, I have this beautiful 4-bedroom villa. Of course, the pool gets cleaned every single day. Of course, we have the gardeners that come in every single day. Of course, we have literally, it has its own shop. It has its own 4 different Michelin star restaurants. It has its like a facility where you can like hire the buggies. Like, of course, it's basically made its own little world inside this world. And being in this energy was incredible. And as we went for a walk one evening, me, my sisters, and my mum, do we bring the boys? No, we didn't bring the boys. They were having bath time, bedtime. So we went for an evening walk because we wanted to go and it would cool down. And as we're walking along, we're seeing all these beautiful villas. And our villa was positioned beautifully. Like, you know, if you love golf, it was like the most perfect villa. And as we were walking down, I was just kind of looking around, and I was getting into that state of, would I like to buy that? Would I like to buy that? It wasn't like, oh my goodness, like these villas, I think they start like 2 million. Oh my goodness, I'd never be able to afford this. Oh my God. Like, no, it was the energy of, is that a desire of mine? And I remember walking and I said to the girls, no, and my family were like, oh, I'd love that one, or this one is really nice. And I said, no, I really want to, when I buy in Spain, I want to buy where I can see the sea, and this you couldn't. And they were like, rah, rah. Anyway, as we're walking down to continue our walk, it's kind of like as you walk towards, let's say, like the golf clubhouse, there was this villa, and it was being finished, being made, being built. And my sisters went, wow, look at those 2 villas. And I looked at them and I went, that's not 2 villas. That's 1 villa. And they're like, no, I'm like, I'm telling you, absolutely 1 villa. And they're like, but it's huge. And I remember looking up to it and going, it was positioned perfectly. It was up high. And from this, you would be able to see the sea. Okay, you wouldn't be on the sea, but you'd be able to see it. And then I looked up to it and I kind of got a tingle. I was thinking, now that's more what we're talking about. And it had that feeling of possibility. It had that feeling of opportunity. It had that feeling of that what if. I was just playing around with the energy. And this is what I do on my higher self walks. I actually created a live higher self walk when we went to Where did we go? I can't remember where we went. Can't remember what it was going to call it, Canberra Sands, but it was not Canberra Sands. I've forgotten. Anyway, when I went there, I was on the beach and it was a beautiful sunny day, and I recorded this higher self audio live for my conscious coach clients because I thought it was so potent and powerful of what I was kind of experiencing to be able to share that with them. So that was what's been happening last week. This week we are getting into the grooves of it. We are starting the next round of Conscious Coach, which is like towards the end of September, which I'm really, really excited about. And I think it will be the last one for this year. So if you're not in, then get yourself in. Send me a message saying you want some information. So let's get into your questions. Okay, so question 1, do you still get triggered? Yes, but it's different. I don't see triggers now as a bad thing. I think it flows off the tongue where I can say, yeah, that triggered me, because I see it as an opportunity of growth. I don't see it as oh my goodness, I've been triggered, where I used to. And there are plenty of opportunities and things that come up that absolutely show that opportunity of being triggered. For example, keeping it real. There was an email that got sent to my team that was quite not very pleasant. And naturally, we're humans, right? We're humans running businesses. Okay. So just because my team or our teams deal with things, like there's lots of things that I don't see. And I'm sure, unless there's something that needs to be run past me, then of course my team do their job and they do what they're great at. And this particular email got sent to me and I read it, and I'm human. So I felt disappointed. I felt disappointed in this person because I was like, wow, through everything that was, through everything that we experienced together, for everything that you achieved, for everything that I delivered, you are now coming back with this email. And it's very disappointing. And I think people forget, and I know you will relate, that just because you're a business, that these things don't touch you, that you're somehow don't have a heart, or it doesn't matter. Because if the thing is, it's a business, and if everything didn't matter and you let everything go and you didn't have boundaries and you didn't have contracts, you wouldn't have a business. You'd be broke, right? And I'm still working on this. What I have to work on is detaching my business from myself. And I'm very good at it in some ways. And in some ways I'm not, because I do naturally want to take it personally. And I think, wow, if only you done this, if only you. And I know from all the teaching learnings that I've done, I know that we are reaching out and we're putting our projections onto that person. But what I actually find hard is when I think about times where I didn't get the result that I desired from said course, membership program, whatever. I always took the responsibility and looked at myself, because this particular course, program, membership, whatever it may be, has got everyone else results. Why not me? Well, then I need to do the work. If, for example, every single person that done this course, nobody got results, then okay, then we can look at that and be like, maybe it's the actual course. So firstly, I always take personal responsibility for anything I go through. Secondly, even if I can't afford it, even if there were times in my business where I couldn't afford to do it, I would find, I'd get the money, or I would arrange some form of payment plan. There's no way that I would just stop paying something, like no way. So I find sometimes that quite hard when we are thinking about things that doesn't match up to our core values. And I have to get out of my head and think to myself, well, not everybody is going to act the way you do. And to me, integrity is huge. Integrity is huge. If I say I'm going to do something, I will commit to it. I will do it. I'll find a way. I'll make it happen. I'll make it work. So naturally, some things are disappointing then when you have an expectation of somebody and it's not met. And also, I just don't have any time for rudeness, abruptness. I just don't. I feel like you can articulate yourself and make your point across without being abrupt and rude to somebody. That's just my opinion. So in answer to your question, yes, I do still get triggers and opportunities that come up, but I see absolute growth, because that email years ago would have absolutely triggered me. I would have been in tears. I would have been like taking full responsibility on it. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this person. Because, you know, as coaches, we want our clients to get the most incredible results. Of course we do. That's why we do what we do. So it's frustrating when our clients then haven't done the work. You know, it's like somebody giving me a social media strategy, me not doing the work, and then me sitting there going, well, my social media is not working. Like, I'm still not getting clients. I'm still not making money. Have you done the work? Like, are you being consistent on your social media? Well, no. Well, there you go. Or I'm still feeling quite negative and up in my head. Well, are you doing the work? Like, are you diving into the mindset stuff? Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. So, you know, taking full responsibility as an entrepreneur is key. That is how you're going to reach these levels of success. So I'm just fully grateful that I have a toolbox that I can dive into to be able to kind of navigate through this, because, you know, being an entrepreneur, being a boss, being a badass is freaking hard at times. It is. And I promise you, being honest, I probably would have given up numerous times, thrown the laptop out the window and said, freak this, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, no. But thank goodness I've got resilience. Thank goodness I've got my mindset toolbox. Thank goodness I know how to work from my subconscious mind, because just being real with you, it can be challenging, it can be tough, it can be personal, and not everybody gets it. And let me tell you this, if you don't deal with these things that are coming up now, how are you going to be able to grow even bigger? Because you're going to have more default payments, you're going to have more complaints, you're going to have more customer service emails, you're going to have more clients to manage, you're going to have more expectations. Like, you growing your business doesn't make these smaller things go anywhere. In fact, if you don't work on it and work on yourself, it just heightens them. I mean, a friend of a friend who's at getting her business to 8 figures, she wants to jack it all in. She wants to jack it in, like she has had enough. And she's now got to work on her subconscious mind to work on kind of these blocks, because to get there, she's only doing what she's always done. And it's burning her out. And even though she's got a team of 11, even though she's got huge amounts of wealth in the account, she doesn't feel safe. She feels like she can lose it all in the morning. She feels like it's all getting too much for her, and she's taken on so much responsibility, and she can't manage it all, and she can't cope. And she said, yeah, the business is so freaking profitable, but it's not pleasurable. And there, my friends, I feel like I could end Tash Talks there, because this is what I talk about. And this is why it's so, so, so important that you do this work on yourself. Anyway, moving on. Next question. I'm working on growing my product suite. I currently have one-on-one and lots of online courses. Would you suggest that I go for a group program or a membership? Great question. My first question to you would be, what do you want to do? Like, not strategically, but if we worked on this from a place of desire, if we worked on this from a place of, oh, what would feel fun and exciting for me to do? Would it be a group program, or would it be a membership? Because strategically, they're two very, very different things. You've got to think about the numbers. You've got to think about the amount of people that you want to serve. You've got to think about the group program will be a lot more higher touch point than the membership site for you. You've got to think about the price points. You've got to think about how many people you want in to be able to serve, then to make X amount of money each month. You want to think about the impact. You want to think about the people that, for example, your ideal clients. There may be your ideal clients that come through the membership. Maybe that's an upsell then to your group program. Maybe for a membership, you may want to look at your social media. You want to look at your engagement. You want to look at your email list. You want to look at the amount of people that you already have in your world that would come through your membership, because they're two very different things. So what I really want to know from you is, what's the desire? What's your desired outcome? And then we could look at how we then deliver that. Okay. Because firstly, I want you to be excited about it. I want you to be like, oh, it'd feel really good to have like a close group of like 5 badasses in my group program. Or is it like, actually, I'd love to like get 20 people membership and really kind of scale that and grow that, and that to be my main focus. Like, there's so many different things and so many different elements for me to just go do this, because I don't know. I need to know some more information from you. Okay. So in order for you to do that, it isn't just don't ever make a decision just on strategics. Strategics doesn't even make sense. Strategically. Just don't even make a decision just based on strategy. Either one of those. So you can't just base the decision on that, because then we're just plodding along. I really want you to think about what actually lights you up, because you've got to sell this. You have got to sell this to your audience. You have got to communicate the why, the transformation. You've got to work with these clients like it's got to freaking light you up. Like, don't just do for do's sake. How do you create such strong boundaries for your clients? I feel like I really want to serve my clients and be there to support them, but I also want to switch off. Of course you do. Like, of course you do. Okay, so let's go backwards. In their welcome pack, when somebody comes to work with you one-on-one, is there an email outlaying the boundaries? Maybe you could create some form of like PDF where you can kind of put your intentions for them and your expectations. Once somebody knows what to expect, nobody can get disappointed. If, for example, you're putting out, then you go, right, these are my hours of working. I work from 9 to 5, Monday to Thursday. I don't work Fridays and I don't work weekends. You're more than welcome to put your messages into Voxer, but I won't answer them until Monday. Boom, clear. No one's going to get pissed off with that. Everyone's like, okay, cool, that's fine. You know what to expect. When I work with my coach, she sets the boundaries out. This is this. I don't return on these calls. This is when I do this. I'm having this days off this week or this month. So I know. Same what I do with my clients. So, I don't work evenings and I don't work weekends. And the days that I'm with, for example, Santiago, I'll still reply back in Voxer, but it may not be as it would be on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you have to take responsibility for that and put that back. Even put in like a reply period that I guaranteed to reply back to you in 24 hours. Now, of course, it may be more sooner than that. You see the Voxer, you may be scheduled where you get up in the morning, you've done your morning routine, you're getting into work before you actually do anything else on social media, you serve your clients. That's what I always do, right? Maybe you then check in the afternoon and in the evening, whatever it may be. You have to set that out. Maybe you put out and you say, right, I want all work that you want reviewed. Maybe you're reviewing sales pages, or maybe you're reviewing blogs, or whatever it is that you do. You want that written form and you want it sent in maybe they've got their own Google Drive. Maybe they've got an email, particular email that they actually email in, and it has to be in on a Monday, and then you'll get their feedback to them by the Wednesday, the Friday, for example. Maybe you say, Fridays, I don't work, I'm out of the office. You have to set that tone. You then have to uphold that. You can't set a boundary and then don't do anything about it and then go and then start messaging back on a Friday night at 11 p.m. because then they're going to be like, well, she messaged back then. Why is she not messaging back now? Right? We expect what we're then given. So how to uphold those boundaries? I would actually hide or delete the app on an evening, maybe switch it from, for example, it's on my front screen. I then switch it to my back screen of an evening or weekends. I've got clients that actually just close, like literally just delete their app for the weekend and then back up Monday and do it. Unless you've got really strong resilience to seeing it, to then not actually do anything about it. Like I can't, if I see like numbers, I'm like, oh, let me just go in and just check if they're okay. So then just move it to the back screen. Okay. And set the tone. Don't reply in out of hours, then don't reply on the weekends. Okay. Really, you have to set those boundaries for yourself, but also for your clients. You want to teach them how to set their own boundaries, how to uphold their own boundaries. And also what I want to do with what I do with my clients, I don't want to hand hold them. I want my clients to be working with me, but also when they stop working with me, they're also okay to do everything on their own. They're choosing to work with me because there's a desire, not there's a need and a must. And I need Tash to hold my hand. No, like I work with badass women that have personal power and that hold their self-responsibility. So you have got to then withstand that and put that into your programs, your packages, and make it really clear. Like you can absolutely do this with all love. Like I don't think about when my coach says to me this, I don't think that's out of order. I think brilliant. I love that. My clients say to me, Tash, you've taught me how to set the tone of boundaries and how to withhold it with absolute love. My clients don't go, can't believe she didn't message me back for 2 hours. No, right? So you have got to actually stand with that. Next question. How has having a baby changed your business? In a word, massively. Hugely. I work 3 set days a week now. That never happened before I had Santiago. I work Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I definitely work a lot smarter. I joke about this to my biz besties, but I'm like, what the hell did we do with our time when we had 5 days to work on the business? So I'm definitely a lot more smarter. And I remember one of my biz besties used to say to me when she had kids before me, and she'd be like, Tash, you just find the time. Like, you're just so much more smarter with your time. I get it now. I'm like, yeah, you've got that nap time when Santiago was, like, for example, a baby, that nap time to get the stuff done, like get the stuff done. I've got those 3 set days where I work on the business. So I am so much more strategic and so much more intentional with my time. From a heart point of view, my drive, my why is so much bigger. Like, he has just changed something in me that makes me so much more driven, that makes what I'm doing even, oh, it's giving me shivers, even more powerful and even more meaningful. I want to show Santiago what a badass his mum is. I want to show him how you can regulate your emotions. I want to show him how you can dream beyond your wildest dreams and achieve it. I want to show him that you can change lives and you can go after what you want and help, and we all get to rise up together. Like, I want him to be so freaking proud of me and be like, wow, look what my mum done. So oh, it's choked up a bit. So yeah, definitely. On the other side of things, I think so many blocks come up, so many subconscious blocks. I remember one of the things that I found really challenging was, do I get to do both? Like, how in the hell am I going to be a good present mum as well as be a badass boss? Like, how? Like, I remember that being a massive, massive thing for me. And, you know, also had a confidence crisis of who I was. How do I be both? How do I get to do this? Like, logically, but as well as like emotionally, how I can kind of navigate through this. And I don't think that I suppose you're not aware of something until you're in that position. So I probably wasn't looking at coaches that were mums when I wasn't a mum. Whereas now I'm very aware of that, and I want to get into the head of how they do things and how they manage things and those types of things. So I had to do a lot of focus work on those subconscious blocks that come up, because of course they'd never come up before, and they come up hot and heavy. So it definitely made me do that. But I'm also really grateful for that, because that's how I found RRT. What I would say also is support is crucial. Having a good support team around you in your business, but also in your personal life, having that support of your family, your partner, friends, nursery, you know, nanny, whatever it is, whatever that care looks like for you, having that and being able to implement that is for sure good. Learning that mummy guilt isn't required. It isn't necessary for you to be a good mum. What I've really learned and been able to stand into is that you can, when I'm in the business, I'm in the business, right? When I'm working, I'm working. And this has taken 2.5 years to get here, may I just say. And when I'm with Santiago, I'm with Santiago. And there may be things that crop up, but I've where there might be a little pang of guilt, but I'm so much more aware of that and able to work on that. So for example, I'll give you a great live example. Santiago's gone off to nursery. Daddy's dropped him. I'm working. And then I finish this afternoon, going to pick up my sisters up. And we're going out for celebrate one of my best friend's birthdays. It's for a brunch. I'm then staying in London tonight, and then I'll be back tomorrow. Now, you know, the previous Natasha, mummy guilt would be like, I'm working all day and then I'm not here Friday night. Like, so what? I'm not here one night. I need to do me. I need to make sure I'm filling up my own tank. I still need to be Natasha, the best friend, the fun girl. I still need to be the badass businesswoman. I need to be daughter and see my mum tonight because I'm staying at my mum's. And then tomorrow, I'll see Santiago. And how incredible will that be? So I think it's just really important with, like, just ask yourself, how is that guilt serving you? The crying, the feeling like a shit mum, the feeling like you're in work and you feel guilty, you're with your son, your daughter, your children, you feel guilty that you're not like, it's depleting, isn't it? It's exhausting. Like, it's just not necessary. And I really can stand in that now. And I used to feel guilty for not feeling guilty. I mean, how mad is this crazy life? But now I don't. So, but it's growth, isn't it? It's really, really growth. So it's changed me as a person. It's changed my business model. It's changed how I'm so much more strategic now, as in everything I do has a strategy, has a reason. It isn't just about, I've still got the flow in my business. It's still who I am, but I love the way my coach said it to me. Like, I kind of hold it now. Like, she's the cup that holds me. The strategy holds the flow. So I think I absolutely love that. And also, just like, you get to do both. Don't ever think that you've got to choose between the two of them, because you absolutely don't. Are there challenges that come up? For sure. You know, I may have a day booked full of like coaching calls and Santiago's sick. Like, we got to manage the shit. Like, of course, I'm not saying it's all plain sailing, but we move. We're mums. We're badasses. We freaking can do this. So I hope that answered your question. Would love to know strategically and subconsciously what is important when scaling to 6 figures and plus. Great freaking question. Okay, so what I would say, just, of course, it's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say the subconscious work. Like, if I could go back to building my business, it would be the first thing that I would have done, is worked on the subconscious blocks. But we don't know what we don't know. And this is why I'm here to coach you and teach you and educate you. And that's so, so important. I definitely think a lot of my past, like 6 years in business, would have been very different if I had worked on the subconscious work, as in the business success, but also managing, becoming a mum, managing 2 businesses now. Like, I think so much would have been different if I'd focused on that. Now that I have, I can see that I'm a different person. I can see how much has changed in me. So I definitely say 1,000,000%, just do the work on the subconscious blocks. Like, do those, because they're underneath the surface, they're bubbling away. And that is the reason why you're not activating that next level in your business. That is the reason why you're stuck at 5K cash months, 10K cash months. That's the reason why you're stuck. You want to break through that glass ceiling by doing that work on you in the inner self. Then I would say you want soul strategy. So you want strategy that lights you up, that you're excited to do. You don't want to be doing webinars if webinars don't light you up, right? If social media excites you, makes what you want to do, then great. That's what you need to be focused on. If that's where your ideal client is, focus your attention on having the most badass social media strategy, so that you are showing up, you're consistent, you're showcasing yourself as the expert, you're the go-to person for that, you're selling, that your audience are going, wow, I want what she's selling. Yes, right? So if that is the strategy, then focus on that, because like I just mentioned before, you want a strategy that holds the flow. It's all what could be in flow. I'm all down for the flow and the ease and the alignment and the downloads and the connecting and the grounding and all of this, and the being is so freaking important. But it's nothing without you've got to have the strategy to execute. You've got to do the do, right? I always make that joke that somebody's got to create the PayPal button. Otherwise, how the hell is someone going to pay you? Right? So you have to have that strategy that allows you to hold the flow, but able to execute it. So that's really important. Acting like a CEO, right? This isn't, what kind of will get you to, or has got you to where you are today, isn't what's going to help you to scale your business 6 figures and beyond, multi 6 and 7. Okay. You've got to have planning. You've got to be mapping out your time, your schedule, your plans. If I didn't map out strategically what my week, months would look like, how the hell am I going to run 2 businesses? How the hell am I going to be a good mom? How the hell am I going to be present and be on social media and wear all the hats that I do? I can't. I'd be on the floor going, no Tash talks today. I'm done. I'm done. Like, no, we have got to have the support strategically. You've got to have the support with like your team. You've got to have the support with the systems, whether it be the way you delegate to your team. For example, I use ClickUp. The way I send my emails out, I use Active Campaign. I have so much support when it comes to the systems that it makes my life a lot easier. Okay, so I'm not always in the doing. It may seem like that, but I'm not actually in that way. So I really feel like stepping up into that CEO badass. Okay, something I'm working on, really, really laser focused on with my coach, is now I've got 2 businesses, is being so much more strategic with my time. That is how I'm able to get things done. And I mean, in like the nitty gritty, I've now got an Excel doc of like, this is the non-negotiables for this side of the business, and this is the non-negotiables every single day for the other business. And that is how I get done. I've even planned in my Santiago days. I've even planned in my me time. I've even planned in for like, oh, what if I want to do this, right? It's all planned, because your time just gets away with you. If you just allow yourself to like just do what you please and have no strategy, then it's not sustainable. And this is what we're here for, girls. We're here to build the most successful, sustainable businesses, ones that give us so much profit, but also so much freaking pleasure. That is the point. Okay. My loves, I have loved spending this time with you. I hope you found it really, really juicy, informative, raw and real, like I always plan it. Don't forget, the podcast is out today. And on this week's podcast, I interview one of my amazing clients. And we talk about her journey in Conscious Coach. She is an absolute badass blogger that has been in publications such as The Mirror, the Best magazine. Like, she's incredible. And she also has she's actually got 2 businesses. So I'm not going to spill out all the beans, but she really does share with her journey of Conscious Coach, where she started, what the things she was blocked with, and the badass that you hear that's in front of you right now. So don't forget to check that out. And if you do want some more information, then please do just send me a DM with the word coach, and let's have a chat if you're the right fit for Conscious Coach. I hope you go and have the most incredible freaking day. And please, please, please never forget, always remember that you are a freaking badass. Bye-bye.